thanks for joining today. This is our Motivosity customer-centric webinar. So we're going to be going over some product updates and discussing some fun stuff today. Real quick though, we're going to let people join and give them a couple of minutes to just kind of get inside the webinar platform here. So while we do that, we want to highlight one of our customers here at Motivosity. We've got a little video from them. So this is Wasatch IT. Really respect what they're doing and building a culture over there at Wasatch IT. So we'll share that to start.
My name is Spencer Ferguson, and I'm the CEO of Wasatch IT. I founded Wasatch IT in 2002, over 20 years ago, and I've kind of had to learn everything on the go, on the fly, as the company has grown over the years. If I had to describe Wasatch IT's culture in one or two words, I would just say continuously improving. We have failures, we make mistakes, but we're always learning from them. We're always getting better. We have a culture where we're always doing book clubs. We're always reading. We're always learning. So we know that it's a never-ending process to relentlessly optimize and improve. And that's what we're all about here at Wasatch IT. I'd say 6-7 years ago, we were trying to be one of the best places to work and win that award. And we applied and we went for it and did all the customer surveys, and unfortunately we didn't get it. But thankfully, shortly thereafter, we found Motivosity, and that's really helped us build our culture. And I'm very proud to say that we are defending best places to work in both Utah Business Magazine and with the Salt Lake Tribune now. One of my favorite things about Motivosity is that we get the eNPS surveys. Our employees, of course, can fill out anonymous surveys and tell us how we're doing as an organization, as an employer. And in our weekly leadership meetings, our leadership team looks at those every single week to see how we're doing and to make sure that we're living up to one of our goals of being a premium employer.
All right. Thanks to Wasatch IT. I think that's a really awesome story there, just trying to build a culture and getting awarded for it. So appreciate Wasatch IT and really appreciate them being a customer of Motivosity. Let's kick things off. We want people to engage in the chat. It makes it a lot funner for us. We're here to be a part of the community with you and build cultures together. But let's talk about summer fun plans. What kind of what do you have on the horizon? What are you looking forward to? Your ideal summer. We got some sandy beach vacations. Maybe you got a little city tour, or you're gonna hide out in the mountains. There's a few mountain hideouts, a couple of theme park adventurers going on. Tons of fun stuff. Awesome. I'm definitely one of the mountain adventurers. I'm planning on backpacking this summer, going through a 4-day backpacking trip. So that'll be an adventure for sure. Perfect. Well, we appreciate you being here. Let's go over the agenda so you're just a little aware of what we're going to be covering. We've got some just housekeeping items, things we want you to be aware of that are just fun things. Talking a little about our referrals and reference program. Then we're going to go over some values and really what we found doing some research on the values being used inside Motivosity. We have Dr. Bobby here that's going to go over goals and the manager development pieces. And Rachel from product marketing is going to help go over some of the product updates that we have in store. So lots to go over. Again, we're also going to have some giveaways to make it fun. So watch for those. You'll want to be active in the chat for the giveaways. That's going to be the way we recognize you and have some fun there. First off, we had an event out in Atlanta recently, and I just want to say thank you. We had a lot of customers join us in kind of this joint HR achievement council that we were a part of. So it was just an opportunity to network with other HR local leaders. And it was fun to get to know some of our customers that are out in the Atlanta area and just have a really fun event. So we're looking forward to doing more of those. And so as part of that, I want to make you aware of just some events that are coming up. And if you are going to be planning to be at any of these events or you're in the area, email us at marketing@motivosity.com. We'd love to kind of coordinate, find ways to be involved there. You'll also find that our team may be reaching out occasionally just to throw some invites out and be a part of those events. We got someone saying, come to Portland, Oregon. I love Oregon. My wife's from Oregon. So that would be tons of fun. We'll have to look for some of those events in Oregon. But again, we've got some credit union leagues that we've been a part of. Those are coming up. And then a real fun one, SHRM 2024 in Chicago. I heard that Ted Lasso is going to be there. So Jason Sudeikis, tons of fun. All right, another question. We're going to launch a little poll here. When we do these invites, we tend to start with people that are active references. It's an easy way for us to kind of reach out. So one of the poll questions we'd like to launch is we'd like to know if you're willing to be a reference with us. So I'm going to launch a poll. Let's have you fill that out. Perfect. So either, yeah, you're willing to be a reference. That also might mean that 3 to 4 times a quarter, we might reach out to you and see if you're willing to connect with a prospect that has questions. How are you using the platform? What have you seen the value in the platform do for your company? Or maybe it's a little too scary to jump on a call with a stranger. This is also a list that we leverage when we're going to these events. We're going to tend to reach out to these contacts first. We want to help build those relationships, be a part of that, and have those discussions. So appreciate all of you for jumping in and sharing that. Really appreciate it. There's a lot of strong advocates out there. So thank you so much for that. We'll go ahead and end the poll there. And we'll reach out to you again. If we're in those areas, we love to connect. We love to network and be a part of your organization. All right, let me clear my screen. Sorry, real quick. Another thing I just wanted to update on, whether you're a reference or not, we do want to help incentivize referrals. We get a lot of people that come to us who say they heard about us from someone else that's using Motivosity. And that is the best way to grow a business. We super appreciate that. We also want to make sure we're recognizing and rewarding those people that are part of that process. So if you're interested, if you have people that you're consistently talking about Motivosity to, you can scan the QR code. It'll take you to our sign up page to get your own referral link. And the way that this works, our referral program is really geared at just making an introduction. So if you share your link to someone, they'll be invited to schedule a demo where they can actually get a $50 gift card for completing a demo. And then we'll also send you a $50 gift card just as a thank you when they complete a demo. So they don't have to sign up. We want to help spread the word. We want to show what Motivosity can do. So if you're interested in that, you can scan the QR code, pull your phone out, or you can go to motivosity.com/referral. You'll find that information. The way that really works, again, you'll send your link to somebody. They'll have a whole page there that they can go to. They can put their name and information in, and it'll be tied back to you so we can make sure you're getting the recognition that you deserve. And again, we appreciate it. It's leaps and bounds, a wonderful thing to have here at Motivosity to help grow our business. All right, we're going to jump into some meat. We want to talk about company values. And before we kind of jump in there, I'd love to know, here's another poll question. What is your sentiment on company values? Like, how well do your employees know your company values? So hopefully there's a good chunk there. I think Motivosity is geared to help make company values front and center and be an active part. But again, I know there's opportunities to improve here. So tons of good responses. I love that no one yet has said, I don't think that we even have defined core values. So that means you're doing some good stuff there. Perfect. That helps us kind of gauge. So it looks like a majority of people feel like most of your employees have a general idea of what those values are. So let's go ahead and end that poll. And we're going to talk about company values. I recently was participating in an HRCI webinar, and we were speaking to some HR leaders. And one of the things we were talking about is company values and where do you really start with? Simon Sinek has an awesome little presentation that he's done, but he really talks about starting with the why. Calls it the golden circle there, and really focusing on the why. He says most organizations know what they do, and a lot of organizations may even know how they do it, but fewer organizations actually know why. He shared an example in one of his discussions where they were interviewing a forklift operator for Scholastic. And they asked this operator, they said, hey, what is it, what is it you're doing for the company? And it was really cool to have the forklift operator respond and said, I'm helping students become literate. Like by the end of what he's really doing, he's tied himself his day-to-day work of moving pallets around or working in the warehouse to the vision of the company and the mission of the company, which is to help kids read. And so I hope as you're evaluating your organization, as you're looking at your own values, making sure you understand your why as an organization will help and help people be aligned to that. At Motivosity, our why and our mission has been to help people be happier at work. And it's been really cool to be at Motivosity. I've been here for the last 3 years, and it's been uh, one of the first times where I feel like the mission really does drive a lot of what we do here at Motivosity. As we build our product, we're really intentional about looking at the end users. We want them to be participating. We want employees to ultimately be leveraging tools that help build connection, that help build community, which ultimately help them be happier and more productive at work. And that's even led to things like making sure that we use dollars inside of our platform rather than points. We want that transparency. I think if you were to talk to employees directly, it's a lot better to know, hey, this dollar's worth $1 versus these 1,000 points can be converted into a t-shirt at some point. So we do focus on the employees. We recently were doing some research inside of our own customers and wanted to understand what values really stood out. What we did is we looked at customers with the highest employee net promoter scores. These would be customers that are averaging 50 and above by far. So really excelling in their industries and excelling in the NPS. So I wanted to share this because I hope this helps shine a light on values that matter, that drive culture. One of the things that sticks out to me is a lot of times these values have an action to them. They're usually some sort of verb or a category where you can see these values being lived. So as you're looking at your values, one of the things I would recommend is understanding the themes like integrity, authenticity, having a customer centric or really providing that experience for customers, the collaboration aspects or innovation. Really move the needle for organizations. The other thing that I would say is those values should be memorable, right? And they should be able to recall them. One of the challenges is if you have too many values, you're gonna struggle to be able to recite those as an employee. So we recommend as you're looking at your values, look at about 3 to 5 and understand like what those impacts are for the employees themselves. Um, Real quick, Jim Collins, who many of us know writing all sorts of great books, but one of his books, Built to Last, really focuses on values. And I liked his call outs here. He says we should have enduring values. The successful companies have core values that endure over time. So when you're looking at your values, how are those going to withstand the test of times in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? Something that really can resonate. As I see founders establish some of those values early on, I do see them look at core values that can be long-standing and really guide the organization for a long time. And you'll find that those have a big cultural impact. So I want to finish that part really by just highlighting Simon Sinek here. He says values are the guiding principles that dictate behavior and action. There are only a few core values that are truly relevant. Knowing them will help you make decisions and take actions that are consistent with who you are. So hopefully that's helpful. We wanted to share that data in the platform. There are a lot of great things happening. So it's an opportunity for you to look at your own values. There were many that said, I think they know what they are. As you kind of tighten those up and as you look in Motivosity and see what people are being recognized for, I think that'll be a great indicator on the values you can focus on and highlight more in your programs and in your efforts. All right, real quick, we're going to have a giveaway as we kind of transition here before we have Bobby. We want everyone to kind of jump in. Here's how this giveaway is going to work. I am thinking of a candy bar, and whoever can throw into the chat the candy bar that I'm thinking of first. Oh my goodness, that was so fast. The answer was Twix. And I've got to scroll back up here because so many people jumped in and threw that in there. So Crystal Schmidt, right off the bat, second guess, Twix, got that. So our giveaway here is $25 gift cards. Crystal, you should watch for an email from us, and we will make sure we send you a little gift card from Motivosity just for participating and being a part of the webinar today. But again, want to appreciate you all. We're going to transition here, and we're going to hear from Dr. Bobby to talk about our goals update and highlight that a little bit more. So as we tend to do, I'm going to roll away, and Bobby's going to roll in. And again, thank you.
Awesome. Really glad to be here with everybody. Before we dive in to goals, I want to share two pieces of human motivation psychology with you. So we went ahead and from customer feedback and from a lot of the research that we're doing on our side to help motivate employees, we built a feature inside of our manager development tool, our manager development add-on, that is the ability to set and manage and align and track goals. And a big reason that we did this actually comes from motivational psychology. We are, as humans, we are hardwired to want to strive for things, to want to set challenging goals or objectives and then try to achieve those. We enjoy that. With the chase or the pursuit of that activity actually is enjoyable for us. The second piece is we're hardwired to enjoy achievement. And so whenever we get to accomplish one of those goals or objectives, we get a positive rush of neurochemicals in our brain. And it makes us happy. And two, it motivates us to want to go and do that again. And so we've built into the platform a way for businesses and companies and your organizations to leverage some of these features to push some of those motivational buttons for your teams and your managers and your employees. So I'm going to dive into a bit of a live demo here and just walk you through in a couple of minutes here what we've added. So for those of you who have our manager development add-on, you will notice and then if you've turned on goals, you will notice that in your personal profile, this tab shows up. And this is a place, it's the goals tab, and it's a place for you to set and manage and create goals. You can set custom due dates on them. You can, write out the title and the description. You can track the status of those goals. If you need help from your manager or if you're on track, you can measure the attainment, like how far along is the progress on those goals. Over here, you'll see essentially an audit trail. So anytime I update one of these elements, the audit trail is updated and I can keep a record of the progress on that goal. If I need to come in here and add a note, I certainly can come in here and add a note as I document my progress and the tracking of this goal over time. When I'm finished with that goal, I come in here and I can mark it completed, and then that goal is completed. I can move on to the next goals. One thing that we love about this is that we've integrated goals directly into our one-on-one capabilities. So if I come into a meeting with Andy and I'm in a meeting, this is Leslie and Andy, and I'm in a meeting one-on-one, I can come over here to the right here and click and see the goals. Sorry. Let me try that again. In theory, it's supposed to show up right here. Let's switch to Anne and start a meeting here and show Anne's goals, because I know Anne has some goals here. I can come over to this tab here and my goals will show up directly in the one-on-one. So one of the advantages to integrating this right into the one-on-one is to allow the manager and the employee to have that direct conversation in their one-on-ones about what they're trying to achieve, what they're trying to accomplish. Again, you can update the status right from this panel right here, and even mark those complete. And so as you're managing these goals and tracking these goals as an organization, we've also built in, as we do with most of our features, the ability to track the goals and to see, okay, which teams have their goals set, which teams are progressing well with their goals, who needs a little bit of help setting and managing and tracking those goals. And so we've built out the dashboards here to be able to support that. So I just wanted to show that with you, share that with you, as we've just recently launched this feature. So for those that have our manager add-on, our manager development add-on, you can turn this on today. Or you can even sign up for one of our time trials. And I know that Steven's going to slide in here and talk a little bit more about that as you sign up for that time trial. But again, trying to leverage some of the human motivation, the motivational psychology to help you motivate your employees, inspire them, grow your business, and go and continue to achieve with our goals feature here. So, Steven, here you go.
Thanks, Bobby. One of the things that I think is really cool about the manager development feature and really the trials in general, goals is really just a small part of what that tool does. The manager development piece for one-on-ones has been huge for me personally to be able to have consistent check-ins with my boss, that I can go over short-term priorities, that I can be able to, one, just build a relationship. So, what we'd like to offer, we have free trials available for manager development. If you want to get a feel for how goals works, what we'd like to do is just if you fill out the poll, we'll have someone reach out to you and just go over goals so you have a good understanding, in a one-on-one situation so that you can see how this can work for your organization. Or if you don't have manager development and you want to do the trial, you can select that and we'll reach out and just kind of help guide you there. So good opportunity to test it before using it. And if you don't want to do that, you can choose that at a later date for sure. There's options inside your platform to be able to go launch a trial anytime that you choose. And then those last for about 30 days. And then after a while, we can reset those and give you another chance there if there's a time to reevaluate those later on. So appreciate it that there's some interest there and we'd love to reach out. So we'll do that later on this week. All right, moving on. We've got a lot of stuff to cover as far as new product updates or things that are going to be interesting for you to know about that are coming from product. And to help cover that, we've got Rachel from our product marketing team. So I'm going to slide out again here and hand it over to Rachel. So.
Thank you, Stephen. And hello, friends. Good to be with you today. And I am excited to take you through two things. One, just a recap of some of the things that are already deployed and available in Motivosity that have recently released in the past few months. And oh, thank you. I just saw the slide out is on point. Thank you. Good job, Stephen. So I'm going to take you through that, and then I'm going to give you a look ahead at the things that are on our roadmap. So I'm excited to take you through that. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is actually not necessarily in the product, but it is a new way for you to stay up to date about what is new in the product. We have a new page on our website called What's New in Motivosity. And if you go here to this motivosity.com/what's new, you can also find it. If you go to the product tab on our website, there's a what's new in the drop down there. This is a place that you can bookmark and you can make sure that you stay updated on things that are coming out. We'll do these monthly or bi-monthly whenever we have enough interesting to tell you about. It just depends on kind of like the size of the projects that we're working on. But this is a good place for you to stay up to date. And we will continue to surface this to admins as well in the platform when there's a new blog post up, and we'll send it out in the monthly newsletters as well in email. But I wanted to make sure everybody knew that this existed and that there is a place for you to go. Just make sure you didn't miss anything that's new. Okay, I also want to cover some what we're calling tiny but shiny. So these are like the little UI updates that you love, but they don't usually get like a launch from a marketing perspective because they're small things and they're really meant to make the platform even more user-friendly and enjoyable. So the first thing is, and this is something that a lot of our customers have been asking for, you now have unlimited comments. So on a post or an announcement, anything like that, you will be able to load 5 comments initially, and then all you have to do is press see more comments and it will load 20 more indefinitely. So really excited that there's no more. It used to be limited to 40 comments. And so there's no limit anymore. And we want to see more and more engagement. Thank you, Samantha. It's very fun. The next thing, there's a bunch of these are like the small things, right? There's a bunch of just look and feel updates that we've made to many of our insights reports, and more are coming. But overall, you're just getting a cleaner look, less clutter, no more text wrapping, things like that. We're just cleaning things up to make it easier, better to look at, easier to navigate. So if you haven't seen those yet, hopefully you have, but if you haven't seen them, go check out your insights. Another thing that is new, tiny but shiny, is we have new default profile images. So that's some colorful Carl avatars and backgrounds on profiles for people who have not added their own profile pictures and things. This is also something that was requested. They used to be animals, various animals. So now they're all Carls in different colors and super fun. Another thing, this is very exciting, especially on mobile, but we have more video options available to you. You can now, right in the mobile app, hit that little camera icon and record a video in, say, a highlight or an appreciation, and post that video right to that highlight and appreciation. And then everybody at your company will be able to, or whoever's that's visible to, will be able to see and watch those videos right in line. So a small update that is super excited. Yes, Yeti, our Yeti has a name and it's Carl. Super exciting, huh? I love Carl. Okay, the next thing is we now have the availability to make achievement awards for specific groups or job titles. That could be departments, locations, countries, regions, specific teams, or like sales reps, for example, or customer service reps, for example. You can do this through custom user groups. And then when you are setting up, and you have to set those user groups up first, and then when you're setting up an achievement award, you would be able to limit that the availability of that award to those particular groups. And also available is we've made our external giving functionality available on the mobile, so you can do this from anywhere. This functionality lets you send thank yous and appreciations to non-employees or non-Motivosity users using their email address. So think about your contractors, freelancers, customers, partners, whoever. They'll receive an email from you with your message and a link to your store, your e-gift options to redeem those awards, and those funds come from campaigns that you have set up. Okay, so let's talk about what's on the roadmap. We've got some big things coming, some things that you've maybe heard about before that are getting closer. And I'm very excited to talk about these things. And as always, I have to give disclaimers whenever we show things that haven't released yet. The designs and mock-ups that we show may look different upon actual release, and also timeframes always move with these types of things. So timeframes are not like guaranteed, they're always subject to change. So I always have to throw that in there just so that we have set expectations. But we always try to be as transparent as we can with you all about what we're building and why. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that I'm personally extremely excited about. Some of you may know that we have been working for a while on building out some better communication and advanced communication functionality within our product, as well as better ways to build community and connection and even recognition. And I'm excited to show you more. We've been calling this our social intranet launch, and this is an evolution of Motivosity when we build this. So this is now something that is in limited beta. We have a small group of customers who are currently testing this for us. We're being as intentional as we possibly can with this to make sure that what we're building is going to really make your lives easier and increase engagement at your company. So yes, Jessica, thank you for saying sign us up for this beta. There's actually going to be a poll in just a minute after I show you this functionality, and you can raise your hand there and we'll reach out. So again, we have been really well known for building community and connection at companies and in company cultures, and obviously for the way that we do recognition. And a lot of our customers are using us for communication. You're posting announcements and posts, and you're trying to get information that is otherwise difficult to get to the right people in Slack, Teams, email, meetings, probably in all of those places for most of you. you're using Motivosity as well as a method to communicate. We see that, we hear that, and we're trying to make this easier so that you can make Motivosity your place of truth for your employees. So I'm excited to show you what we've got. And I will be even more excited when we are out of beta and we can demo this for you and like walk you through it. But basically, we want to make it really easy for you to communicate important information to your employees quickly and clearly. What this will look like is you will be able to post announcements and highlights and recognition and events and other content to the entire organization or to specific employee groups. You will be able to manage your communications with more ease, meaning you'll be able to schedule your posts and your announcements ahead of time. You'll be able to feature things at the top of the feed. You'll be able to post as the company for some more official communications, which hopefully you're excited about. And then what we're the real like moneymaker, not, I shouldn't say moneymaker, but the real like exciting piece of this is that we're going to help you increase your transparency on communications with employee spaces. And I'll talk about that more in just a second, but we're going to help your employees see what's most relevant to them first in Motivosity. So when it comes to employee spaces, this is going to be a way for you to do several different things. You're going to be able to use spaces for communicating specific things to specific groups of people or to the entire company. You can use these to house resources around specific things. Think about like onboarding, for example, if you have a group of if you have an onboarding program, a formal onboarding program, that you'd be able to house all of those resources and information in one of these spaces for those employees. And you'll also be able to use these spaces for building community. So think about spaces that are built around some of those common interests or interest groups at your company, and you'll be able to use this for running your programs, your wellness program, your leadership development program, your employee resource groups, like anything you can think of program-wise, you can do it in these spaces, and you can control who's in those spaces and how you're communicating and what you're communicating. And the best part about this to me is that the recognition is built into these spaces. You can recognize in context of your programs in this way. And this is going to give your employees one place to go for information, for participation in your programs. And we really hope that this is going to be something that just makes Motivosity even more of an asset to you and your company. So as part of this space, this image is showing you one of the spaces and the resource tab specifically. As part of these spaces, you will be able to easily create, and yeah, I said create, I'll talk about that in just a second, organize and manage your resources for different audiences, the audiences being who's in these groups, right? So your resources will be able to live in context. They'll be easier to find. You'll be able to pin resources that are the most popular ones so that they're easier to find. You will also be able to draft and publish original content in the form of articles in Motivosity directly. And so think, for example, if you had a CEO blog, for example, you can set up a company-wide space for this CEO blog, and the CEO would be able to just craft those articles right in Motivosity. You can also attach documents that already exist and link files from, say Google Drive or something like that in here as well. And you'll be able to manage publish and expiration dates and just make sure that you have the things that are most important, easily accessible and visible for your employees. Within these spaces, you will also be able to plan, communicate about, and host events in context. So let's say that you have a space set up for your wellness program and you're going to run an event. You can set that up and communicate that to everyone who's participating in that program right in that context. And that comes with being able to set it up with all of the details, the location, the live stream, if you're going to have a live stream or a recording afterward. And you will also be able to track RSVP, see who's attending, and your employees will be able to sync this to their calendars if they connect their calendars to Motivosity. With this will also come a more global search functionality. So your employees are going to have a much easier time being able to quickly search and find the information that they need. So we already have really good search functionality, but with the addition of these new features, they'll also be able to search in addition to like meetings, people, they'll be able to search for meetings, events, specific posts, announcements, highlights, employee spaces, resources, all of it, which is the idea here is just, I need something, and I quickly can search and find it instead of going to my HR person and asking them the same question they've been asked 45 times already by other people. And all of this will be on our mobile app so that you can reach employees wherever they are and that they can find information no matter where they're at. So being able to use that search functionality and get information about their benefits, for example, even if it's after hours, or being able to, for you, when you post announcements, send push notifications so that you can get more eyeballs on those announcements, drive more views, and be able to see more about who is viewing your important communications, and just make it really easy for everyone. So are we starting the poll? I'm gonna start this poll, okay? And if you are interested in being one of our early beta testers, go ahead and respond to this poll with a yes or a no, and that's totally okay if it's a no. We know you have other things going on, but we'll just respond yes, and we'll reach out to you and talk and see if it'll be a good fit for you. Okay, go ahead and end that poll. Great. Awesome. Okay, so a couple of other things. Now this one has a lot of details with it, and I don't have time to walk you through everything. So I actually, on the next slide, we have a QR code that you can scan for more information. You will also be receiving an email next week, and actually multiple emails in the coming weeks, but next week you'll receive the first email about this. We have some changes coming to our multi-factor authentication, or you may have heard this as MFA. This is all in an attempt to give additional protection for your dollars. So there's a bunch of things that are changing. It's going to be more security and more funding controls for admins, increased privacy and protection of your sensitive information and reporting. And there's already an option that we recently released to require a finance admin to approve monetary changes. And then we will be in May releasing this option to use a one-time code instead of a shared password that you can set up. But with this change is also coming a few changes to our admin roles. So the one thing I want to call out here is this is an opportunity for you to go audit your admin roles and make sure and think about who you want to have access to make financial changes in the future, and access to confidential data. So what you'll need to do is make sure that finance admins also have general admin access, and vice versa. So general admins who want to be involved in funding will also need to have finance admin access. So that is like the most important point. Again, there will be comms sent out about this actually in product as well as in email, but you can also scan this QR code and it will take you to our help article about all of these changes. We're telling you now because we're going to roll this out in 1 month. So you have a month to go through and make these changes ahead of time. And just want to make sure that you have had the chance to go through and audit your admin and access roles and have it set up the way you want it before we roll out the next changes with multi-factor authentication. Okay, we are also working on, and this is something that I believe is going to be releasing to you soon, the ability to assign multiple owners to an award. And this is something that many of you have asked for. And so you'll be able to create an award that someone else owns or that multiple people can give out. And you'll be able to choose where the award dollars come from for that award, whether that's a giver's giving balance or it's a different budget. Also, on our roadmap, we are working on some updates to the funding page and setup. These are going to be some really great improvements for you. It's going to have a new look and feel with more details and visibility for you, and particularly, I think, for your finance team. It's going to show you some more details about pending dollars and in your available balance, your total balance, your budget, your average spend per month, and your rolling year. You will be able to have a better experience connecting your bank account via instant verification. And we are also going to give you the ability to do auto top-ups, which means that you'll be able to keep adequate funds so you never have to worry about low balances. So basically, you'll set what your top-up max is going to be, and it will automatically help make sure that it's pulling funding in so that you don't run into any issues with not having enough funding when someone is, for example, an employee is trying to redeem their rewards. And you will get notified when you're getting close to those limits as well, a couple of different times. So hoping to make all of the funding a lot more easy for all of you. And then I think finally, something else that we're really excited about and we're working on right now is the ability to do customer to employee appreciation. This will be a way for your customers to scan a QR code, whether that's one that is with your employee or that is like at a physical location, to be able to say thank you to those employees, and that those thank yous will then show up in your social feed. And there will be a way, I don't think it, yes, there is. If you look at that middle screenshot, there's also a way for you to add a link, for example, to also submit a review after they sent that thank you. So really excited about this. And excited for you to bring your customers in on all of the appreciation and to be able to just make it more visible internally, which of your employees are just really great at customer service and doing a really great job there. Okay, I'm going to bring Stephen back in to do our next giveaway. Thanks, you guys. It's been great.
All right, we're going to have time for some Q&A here in a second. But before we do that, we got one more giveaway, and I'm going to preface this one. So I've actually been doing a little bit of a challenge over kind of a Lent challenge where I've given something up. And I am a heavy soda drinker. Like I could compete with the best of them. But I, for the last 44-ish days, have been limiting myself, not really having any soda. But I can guarantee on Easter, I'm going to be downing some soda. So here is the challenge to you. Who can guess which soda is my favorite? We've got some people going in there. Oh, PJ Brennan, you nailed it. It's Mountain Dew. You just barely jumped in before Rachel there. So Mountain Dew is the answer. So PJ, nice job. Yeah, I am ready to drink some Mountain Dew for sure. So perfect. Well, PJ, we'll be sending you a little gift card. Thanks for participating. Again, there's probably questions. We went over a lot of things. So I'm going to kind of pull in Rachel, and we also have Chris and Bobby still around. They're part of the product team where they can help answer questions. So if there's questions that you have, let's go ahead and throw those in, and let's do our best to kind of answer those questions here.
First question, is the video recording only for the app or is it also in the browser?
All right, question on, is the video recording only for the app or is it also available in the browser? So I'm getting answers from my side ear here. So it's currently just in mobile, but it is planned to be able to add functionality in the browser. But right now the dev work's going on in the mobile. All right, other questions? Throw those in the Q&A. There's probably questions in the chat as well.
Couple times. Can people get a copy of the slide deck?
Yeah, we'll send out questions about if they can get copies of the slide deck. So anyone that's registered, we're going to send a follow-up email that has the link to the recording. Those are usually available for 90 days directly. So you'll want to jump in on those. All right, couple more questions. Is there any plans to add admin functions to the app? Currently, there's not. Yeah, so we're really geared the app to the employees for the usage side. There are some things one of the things that I think doesn't get used very often that we did go over is what we call kind of these external giving. So one of the updates was being able to do that from the mobile app. Oftentimes that's going to take an approval on the back end. The idea there is in HR, you might not be using that functionality a ton. I'm in marketing, and if you want to kind of loop in your marketing counterparts, there's probably some ways to leverage the external giving and having that functionality be used. But it's great to be able to essentially say thank you to someone outside of your organization. You'll be able to set campaign budgets that those come from. So there's kind of an overall budget owner on that campaign. And then you're thanking people that are not part of your organization, but they can still go into your store and redeem, and that gets pulled from the budget that's allocated there. We do this all the time when we're helping reward for referrals, or if we want to help incentivize someone for or just saying thank you for participating in a reference call or whatever it might be. Those are some of the examples of how we've been using that, where you're not part of the Motivosity instance, but we can still leverage the platform, the store, the gift cards to be able to have those. Let's see here. Here is a question, and maybe I need one of you to help here on the unredeemed spending balance and pre-fund account balance. Can you explain the difference? So Chris is going to jump in here. We'll have Chris handle some of these.
Yeah. Might tackle a couple of them. Okay, so quick explanation of unredeemed spending balance versus pre-fund. Essentially, Motivosity to power all the redemptions that are happening in the system, we have you connect an account or a credit card with us to pre-fund some of that money into the system. So that's still your money. It's not like you're buying points from us like some other sites would do. This is just you have some money set aside inside of Motivosity. And then the unredeemed spending balance is the money that people have accrued from thank yous or activity throughout the system that they haven't used to you know, cash out on something yet. When they do cash out, it will pull from the pre-fund account balance to kind of negate some of that unredeemed spending balance as it gets redeemed. So hopefully that's clear. Let's see. There's a couple feature requests coming in here about notifications, some for managers. Those are great pieces of feedback. We're always thinking about what's the most engaging and what would be the most helpful. We don't want to overload people with notifications, but that's definitely something for us to think about as a product team of what we could add as options for you to take advantage of. Okay, let's see. There was a question about inappropriate videos or tools for admins to have. This is something that we're considering, especially with what Rachel talked about earlier around spaces and these different areas in the platform that people can post things. We do find that Motivosity is a place that people view as, a workplace, and they try to stay away from posting inappropriate things, but that doesn't necessarily prevent them, right? So we are putting in some tools to help you catch things that would maybe need a look at sooner, but we're not going to do anything to prevent them from posting across the board. It will just give you better insights into what's happening, including things like content monitoring and notifications to admins if something gets flagged. So that's kind of where we're at with that right now. Let's see. Any other ones? Rachel, do you see any? That is correct. Okay. I guess you didn't hear her question. So the most recent one. So as employees redeem their rewards, we would see a decrease in unredeemed and pre-fund at the same amount and the same time. The answer to that is yes. Let's see, will it be possible to permit employees to submit more than one award request in the same category soon? That's a good question, Mark. I'll write that down, and we'll reach out to you and have some conversation around that, and just confirm what you're trying to do, and make sure that we're trying to be supportive of that.
There's a question about if people are adding.
It might have been the events. Who was that from? Yeah, Anise. Anise, it sounds like you have a couple questions around events. I know that you are on our short list of people to reach out to about beta participation. So maybe let's talk about that on a call where we can dive into it a little bit more in depth. Sweet. I don't see any more coming in, so I'll turn it back over to Steven. And he says, heck yeah, right on. That's what I like to see.
Well, I just want to finish off by saying thank you. We love having the participation. There's a lot of participants today. There was a lot to go over. Anyone that said yes to the beta group, we'll be reaching out. Some of those discussions will just be, is there a good fit here? And make sure that we're testing the right things. But really appreciate our customers. Thank you for all you do. And we'll look forward to talking to you again next time. So thank you so much.